Mayor. See us our Pledge of Allegiance. Would you stand? Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's how I
Still trying to blame me for that, idiot. All right, section 2 is our presentations. Item 1 is this month at OTPS.
Just wait a minute, I'll figure this out, because Kim's done a great job putting this together. Autoplay?
Yes. Yeah.
Looks like this picture's slightly over.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
Woo!
Say about that, as much as that, like I had to leave things out because I didn't want, we had so much going on over the past month. And not only are our kids doing so many things, they're like winning at everything that they go to. I was trying to look back at Friday and today, and pretty much every event that our kids have gone to, they have won, which I think is awesome that they're participating and awesome that they're having so much success. I mean, that could have been 20 slides longer if we included every single thing all of these groups have done, which I think is awesome.
That's great. Thank you, guys. Item B, recognized here for visitors.
Nope.
Item C is our treasurer's report.
So I printed off a treasurer's report. You guys remember, kind of this will be part of the, later, the financial report, so you'll see these documents later, but the treasury part, you'll notice there on that bottom portion of that are for our main checking account. We started with 866, deposited a little over $1 million, spent 1.3 with an end balance of 548. as compared to November of a year ago, which was 929. Some money's down a little bit, but if you look down at the OLAP account, the next to the bottom one, the amount of money that's in that is substantially higher than what was in there last year. So again, it's just us holding that money in that investment account as long as we possibly can to draw the dividends off of that. And you can see we pulled in $8,500 that last month in that investment account. So it's going pretty well there. That number is actually down a little bit from what we've seen in the past. I think that the percentage on that second page is, yeah, so it's down to 4.5%. I think at one point over the summer we were up to like 5.1% maybe. So that as an investment account has stayed pretty steady for us, but again, it's money that we weren't taking in last year. But overall, our imbalance for this month is up from where it was a year ago, back to $100,000. So things are going well. We did move, I think I talked about this last month a little bit, we moved all of our payroll out of our building fund and the general fund. So that will be, we'll kind of see how that works over the next few months and see what that does for us. But overall, things are going well as far as money in, money out. Any questions on that?
Do you have any concerns, any yellow flags or?
No, I don't know. Yes,
He always says November is the one.
so things are going well financially for us. But yeah, so we made it past kind of the breakover point. So now we'll start getting money in, some of the local money in. So by making it past that is great, right? I'm still concerned about the next 6 months, just seeing where everything shakes out. And so we've already been meeting though, talking about different scenarios where we end up the year financially. And we have a few different plans in place, a way to save some money if we need to save some money. And we always have ways to spend money in case we need to spend money. I'm sure that's going to be what we'll be looking at. But as far as our banking account, things are going well. And I do want to kind of give a quick shout out to RCB. They've really done a good job of kind of, I feel like, upping their game a little bit in our dealings with them. They did win the bond issue bid, which I think is good. I actually got a phone call from them. I can't remember when it was. It was either over Thanksgiving break or in the evening, one evening, that there was a check come through that was like a weird amount to something they hadn't seen before. So they called just to verify that, hey, is this really a check that you guys have written? So I think they're doing a good job trying to keep our money safe and help us out with that.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay. Item D, student recognition.
So that's supposed to be for next month. I just put it on there. I put it on the last month.
No students recognized.
No students recognized.
Not recognizing students. Item E, assistant superintendent's report.
So busy, everything's really busy around here right now. This is a very busy time for schools with holidays and breaks and all that kind of thing. As far as professional development goes, the principals and us sort of talked about typically that first day back from the winter break, I would say typically, sometimes we'll do some professional development, sometimes we don't. We, as a group, kind of talked about that and what we wanted to do with that. It is technically a professional development day when we come back, but we decided to give our teachers that as time to ease in to being back from the break and as time for collaboration, for working together for the spring semester, because once we get back in January, it is a sprint until testing season, and then you blink and school's over. So we really wanted them to have that day not overly scheduled. We'll have some staff meetings on that day. We'll have a couple other things going on that day, but we decided not to schedule any like serious professional development so that they could just have some time to get back in the building and for our secondary teachers to look at their finals, all the things that they need to do to be ready for students the next day. So that is all to say we don't have any big time professional development coming up for a little bit. We will have some as we get into later in January into February when we start looking at some more ELA curriculums, which I'll talk about here in a second. There'll be some times for that. So Federal programs, unfortunately, I still have nothing to report to you about federal programs. We're still waiting on our consolidated application to be approved. It has been an unbelievably frustrating experience waiting on federal programs this year, just slow, the slowest it's ever been. And I think the only thing that gives me a little peace about that is knowing we're not the only ones in that boat. Everybody is in the same position. So we're just waiting. As soon as it gets approved, we are ready to go to make some claims. And I'm very, very thankful for Dr. Wilkins and for Mr. Hotfeld, who have kept us financially healthy, so we're not in a bind with not having any of that money coming in, which we could be and probably would have been in years past. So I'm glad that we're not. Once that consolidated application gets approved, we'll be able to make a substantial claim and get some money brought back in. So we're just waiting. Although, one positive, we have done a few things already with our safety and security money. If you've driven by the upper, you've probably seen we have a landing strip up there where you can land a plane. I think it's so bright. Put new lights out. We've got some security wraps that have gone on windows. So haven't spent all that money yet, but haven't spent close to all that money yet, but we have spent a little bit on a few things. So I'm sure we'll be able to do something. The rest of it, I'm hopeful. By now, we would have typically run 2 rounds of claims, maybe even 3, and we've done none because we're just waiting. So hopefully soon. Teaching and learning. There's lots of teaching and learning going on around here. And the big thing, of course, which we've been talking about is our ELA curriculum adoption. So we've now had 2 meetings with that committee of teachers. The first one was more just kind of what is the process going to look like? How is this going to go over the next few months? Last month, we actually met and started talking what I thought would be a pretty quick conversation, turned into 45 minutes of what are we looking for? And we're going to spend a considerable amount of money on curriculum. What's everybody hoping to get out of it? And our teachers had a lot of really good, specific things that they're looking for. And I was very impressed with the way that they're forward thinking into an integrated curriculum, which is a reading, a writing, a speaking, a listening, all combined, which is what research says is the best way to teach English language arts. So that's what they're looking for, that's what they're wanting. Some of the programs that we've looked at are that way and some of them aren't, but it's good to kind of give them, I think, the opportunity to get on the same page with each other. And I think it's really, really good for elementary teachers to hear what secondary teachers think is important, and for secondary teachers to hear what elementary teachers think is important. I think that's good. So we'll be continuing to work on that as we go into next semester. We've had 2 opportunities to look at curriculum. Ms. Bell, Ms. Morrissey, Ms. Dixon, and I had the opportunity to look at a curriculum called CKLA, which is really founded on the science of reading. I don't know that any of us are sold on it, but it's something interesting to look at. And 2 of our lower elementary teachers had the opportunity to go to Collinsville, and we've talked about this a little bit. We're off the adoption cycle, so a huge benefit to us right now is people are already using these curriculums in their buildings. So 2 of our teachers had the opportunity to go to Collinsville and look at the one that they're the most interested at in real time, like watch it actually being taught. And so that was really good that we were able to do that. So we'll keep talking about that, and you'll be hearing a lot more about ELA than you probably ever wanted to in January.
Any questions?
Title IX.
Nothing new to report. Yes.
Item G, our superintendent's report.
Okay, so a couple of things, nothing too exciting. So we do get special ed is monitored every year, kind of a desk monitor maybe, I guess is a good way to put it. We did get our kind of results back from that, and their monitoring result for this piece is a level 1 support, which is the best that you can get as far as how we're handling business. I went through and kind of looked at some things that are fully compliant, no concerns detected. We had a rating of 100% on this piece. The other piece we had, it was a 78% rating out of 100. Some of that has to do with some of our test scores. I talked to Kendra about that today, and I think what the feeling is that those scores have been traditionally low. They're in math and ELA, so which we're looking at those curriculums and how we can make them better, how we can get that improved. But we're fully compliant. We've met all the targets in all of the areas, and the pieces that we're a little bit low in, we're working on. Anyway, just wanted to kind of throw that out. I think Mrs. Hutchinson's been doing a great job. It's been difficult because finding special education teachers is very, very difficult, and we're still trying to find some special education teachers. And as we find them, we'll put them to work, but there's just not a whole lot out there. Accreditation status, we did receive from the State Department, and I guess just kind of because we had to deal with that for a while, I do get a little excited every time we get the accreditation with no deficiencies across the board, so everything is good to go on our accreditation for this year. Got that officially from the State Department. And then our one other piece, and I was going to put it on here, but I gave you a letter.
Right here.
Yeah, right there. So we're going to send this out to our community next week. I want to give you guys kind of a chance to look over that. If you have any questions about it, holler at me sometime this week. Or we'll send it out this week. So if you have any questions about that, holler at me. It's just basically stating that we're in the process of running a bond issue, or starting the process of running a bond issue. And if anyone has any questions, let us know. Last piece is the school board election status. So we have Mr. Jordan here, who has signed up for Mr. Tice's seat. Mr. Tice has had an amazing 30-year run with this, and we will absolutely miss his presence here. I feel like that we have a good person stepping into that spot. Shoes can't be filled, but we'll at least have a good person there. And you guys both have the dress. Snappy dressers.
Certainly handsome.
So, yeah, so I think
Except the district we live in.
it's
Oh, there's some bad. I'm from Talala, I got nothing.
well, we all just live up First Area.
You're like, yeah, I got shoes on.
We will have a seat for election in a few months, and so that'll be coming up. That's it. That's all I got.
Any questions? All right, item 3 is our consent agenda. These items may be approved by one board motion unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of the items. Item A is a discussion and consideration for approval of the minutes of the following Board of Education meetings, regular meeting that was held November 11th, 2024, and the special meeting on November 14th, 2024. Item B, discussion and consideration for approval of the following warrants and encumbrances. General fund encumbrances 302 to 323. General fund warrants 1,054 to 1,406. Building fund encumbrances 64 to 70. Building fund warrants 230 to 246. Sinking fund encumbrance 2 and sinking fund payment 1. Item C is discussion and consideration for approval of financial reports, including general fund, building bond funds, and activity funds. Item D is discussion and consideration for approval of the following activity fund transfers, 62 to 67. And item E, discussion and consideration for approval of the following fundraiser request number 215. What is anything you would like to point out?
Under section C on the financial reports, right there where it has the bank statements, you can see the RCB bank statements. Right after that is a payment register for activity funds. We haven't included this historically in the past. There's no approval that's needed on this on the part of the board because activity is it's not public. It's not considered public funds, therefore it doesn't have to have board approval. But just as a matter of transparency, my plans to start including that payment register in the financial reports, just so you guys will have a look at it. You can obviously, as the board, you can ask questions about anything that there is in any of the expenditures, because ultimately everything does come back to the board. So I wanted to include that. I got a hold of Julie Miller to ask if there was any approval or anything different needed to be done, and she said no, that's not. Again, it's not under the purview of the board to approve those as approvals. However, you can approve that as a financial report. So that's a new report that you've probably not seen before, and my plan, like I said, is to start including that in that report.
How did we get an Oklahoma Court Council grant?
I'm sorry?
Oklahoma Court Council grants?
I have no idea.
That's on the activities fund transfers. But it's kind of unique.
Oh, on the transfers.
Yeah, it's kind of unique.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we got that. I'm assuming someone tried it. Do you know, have any idea?
No, I don't.
What number is that? You see?
62. Yeah.
It's the last page, I think. Right before the disclosure of free and reduced options.
I'm just looking at this, it looks like maybe Ms. White applied for that, I would guess. And she applies for several grants throughout the year.
The other question I had though, at the last meeting we did on new business, we approved that for the water leak, the 10,000. I'm assuming this to any time is 5,100, that bill ended up being 5,100.
Yes, yeah, so it was substantially less than what we thought. They, and a credit to them, they were very kind in how they billed us for that.
I was curious, because, yeah.
But, which it's not uncommon for us to over-approve a.
Right, no. Yeah.
Because then we'll just go back and close out the remainder of that.
That's cheap.
Oh, yeah, that's cheap.
Well, and that was really what we thought.
We approved, Peter. Any other questions on the consent agenda?
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you.
And I'm going to entertain a motion on section 3 of the consent agenda.
Make a motion that we approve A through E. As stated on.
Second motion.
Further discussion? Hearing none, vote please.
Yes.
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 Record show the consent agenda was approved. Section 4 is administrative. Item A is a recommendation, consideration, and action on approving the disclosure of free and reduced price information agreement with Cherokee Nation for the 2024-2025 school year.
So this came around last year. This has to do with Cherokee Nation sending, is it like a?
It's like an EBT card.
Yeah, an EBT card to our low-income students. And so we either have to have an agreement with them or else like they have to have access to, we have to send them all of our free reduced kids or it has to go through the state. I can't remember what it was. This was the easiest way to do it. We did this last year. It's a very simple process. We send them our information. They take care of all the work. So recommendation to approve. Any questions?
Entertain action on item A.
I move that we approve the recommendation for the disclosure of free and reduced price information agreement with the Cherokee Nation for the 2024-2025 school year.
Second.
Any further discussion? Vote please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Item A is approved. Item B is recommendation, consideration, and action on approving updates to the upper elementary discipline matrix.
Ms. Morrissey, do you want to speak on this?
Mrs. Easterwood and I have been looking at the matrix closely, and with the addition of Coach Doyle as our Dean of Students, we have been able to implement in-school detention, which has been wonderful. The kids are really responding well to it. So on the original matrix, we had lunch detention, and then it would go to after-school detention. We really have not been using after-school detention much anymore since we have Coach Doyle. So you can kind of see the first copy I included is the original matrix. I need to change the years on that, I'm sorry. And then the second says copy of the discipline matrix. And you can see the colors printed out different than showed on my screen, but that brighter yellow,
They ended up not getting a color copy. So
Oh, okay.
just tell them what number it is.
Okay, so number 3, we made changes to number 3, number 4, number 6. Basically, on the original copy, if it said after-school detention, we changed it to in-school detention for the most part. There are a few things that we left after-school detention, but for the most part, we have updated it to reflect in-school detention. And then we also added number 44, disorderly conduct, which is kind of a catch-all, I guess, if you will. We are, we were kind of, it's hard to code disrespect in Wingate. So we have added disorderly conduct on there. And I know that you all know this, but the matrix, is not the end-all, be-all. It's definitely a guide that's been very helpful to Mrs. Easterwood and myself, especially this year with we have such a range of students from 2nd to 5th grade. We have the littles, and then we have kids who are almost middle schoolers. So we really have such a wide range, and we really try to take into account our students and who they are and what they have going on in their home lives. This is really just a guide for us. Mrs. Easterwood, did you want to add anything to that? Okay, I think that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All of our principals have done a really good job of utilizing their matrix and discipline matrix, which we improve every summer. And then like this, and we saw last month also same thing at the secondary level, like, this isn't really working for us, we need to make this change. So it keeps it as a living document, but then also realizing that it is a guide. And our admin, they're the ones that are dealing with the situations, and ultimately they have the final call right there when they're dealing with it. So recommendations that we approve.
Okay. Entertain action on item B.
Move to approve item B, approving the updates to the upper elementary discipline matrix.
Further discussion? Vote please.
Yes.
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 Item B is approved. Thank you, ladies. Well, it says gambling. Like, what are like, hey, I bet you $5. Like, we're not gonna see-
A lot of them are more towards secondary than
Yeah.
grade.
Yeah.
How many kids are total in your building?
510. We've had several new students enroll, so we're about 510. Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
You really are.
Thank you.
Okay, item C is recommendation, consideration, action on approving high school environmental club.
Yeah, high school science teachers want to start an environmental club, so exciting. Like anything that will get kids together and get them learning and working together and doing some projects. So I think we're going to meet during the day. Recommendations we approve.
So basically the club, no funding, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
This begins the process, right? So if they want to then have an activity account, they can open an activity account, they can do some fundraising on their own or that kind of stuff if they want to do more stuff.
I would entertain action on item C.
I move that we approve the action on approving the high school environmental club. Second.
Discussion? Vote please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Item C is approved. Item D, recommendation, consideration, and action on approving contract renewal addendum, E-rate with Bolt for 10 Gbps leased the fiber circuits.
So I had Rick email me, I said, hey, email me what this is so I can tell them the word. The two contract renewals that are attached are for FY beginning July 1st, 2025, so FY 26. The first page is for internet access, the second page is for new leased lit fiber between the buildings. So this is it's through E-rate, so this is all paid for with E-rate money, so it's not money out of our pockets. And as an addendum, it's basically because we function under the same contract, it's just renewed for the next year each time. So it's not for this fiscal year, it'll be for next fiscal year.
They're a dependable vendor.
Yeah, for sure. They're the ones I'm probably the only one that can provide what they provide.
I would entertain action on item D.
Make a motion to approve the contract renewal addendum for 6 rate with Bolt for 10 Gbps at least lit fiber service.
Thank you. I struggled with that too.
Second.
Further discussion?
Yes.
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 Item D is approved. Item E, recommendation, consideration, action on approving contract renewal addendum E-rate with bulk for internet access 5 gigabytes per second dedicated fiber circuits.
This is one I think that's between.
The second page, right?
It's the second page.
There was page 1 and then there was page 2.
Yes.
Okay, so board,
I would move that we approve the contract renewal addendum E-rate with both for internet access and 5 Gbps dedicated fiber circuit as presented.
Second.
discussion. Vote please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Item E is approved. Item F, recommendation, consideration, action on authorizing Brett Kellogg, school board president, signatory authority for the accounts at RCB Bank, checking account that ends in 5424, money market account 8499, and bond account 4092.
So for F and G, both, this is, I don't know if we've done this in the past, I just can't remember, so I don't know if it's something that our bank has required and we haven't done, or if it's something that we've done and I just don't remember, or if it's a new safety protocol they have, but basically we're, the people that sign our checks, or that whose signatures are on our check, this is the documentation that we will take to the bank, as long as, also with the paperwork that these guys will have to fill out or go by and show their IDs. So that way, as a safety protocol, but for the bank to continue to run our checks. So it's the board granting the board, or these guys, the authority to sign our checks.
We will sound right.
It's kind of printed on
Oh, great.
stamp. But you approve the purchase orders and the requisitions and all that, so, yeah. Big news, no, it's not.
Entertain action on item F. Just know what you're getting when you approve that.
F and G.
Move to approve item F, authorizing Brett Kellogg, school board president, signature authority for all accounts at Roger County Bank ending in 5424, money market ending in 8499, and bond account ending in 4092.
Second.
Discussion. Vote please.
Yes.
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 Item F is approved. Item G is recommendation, consideration, action on authorizing Joe Coster, school board clerk, signatory authority for accounts at RCB Bank, checking account ending in 5424, money market ending in 8499, and bond account number ending in 4092.
I move that we approve action on authorizing Joe Coster, school board clerk, signatory authority for accounts at RCB Bank, checking ending number 5424, money market account ending in 8499, and bond account ending in 4092.
Second.
Discussion.
So when we restructure the board next year, we may have to reauthorize these and go around. This will get us until then.
Vote please.
Yes.
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 Item G is approved. Item H, recommendation, consideration, and action on approving Bible study clubs at Oologah High School.
Would have put the two clubs together, to be honest, I didn't realize we could get the clubs being approved until after I had it all finished, and I didn't go back and change it, so I apologize for that. You can read kind of their proposal. It would be a meeting at lunchtime, I believe, is what they had said. A couple of different teachers wanting to put that on. Recommendations is approved.
Entertain action on item H.
I'll make a motion to approve the Bible study club at OHS.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, does this need to go before the lawyer? Is there any possibility of issues? I think it's great, but
No, with it being a club, no.
Do they?
It's not, there's no funding
Okay.
other than if they were to fundraise themselves, and so it's just a club.
I mean, I got my CCD at school here, at Oologah Schools, I was there years ago, but it was probably a little more acceptable.
No.
Okay.
Vote please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Item H is approved. All right, section 5 is personnel. Item A is proposed executive session to discuss resignations, hiring of personnel and/or extra duty assignments pursuant to 25 OS Section 271 and 7 of the open meeting law. Items to be discussed are the resignations of Jessica Porter, Suzanne Fitzgerald, hiring an upper elementary SPED teacher and an Oologah-Talala elementary first grade teacher, and a upper elementary paraprofessional. Item B is vote.
Move to convene in the executive session.
Second.
Vote please.
Yes.
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 Show the board has moved to executive session.
I didn't eat dinner.
I didn't either.
We need a.
Oh, I ran with fourth graders.
Go on, let's go to El Tap and go basketball game.
Deal.
All right, so let's pick back up at item C, acknowledge that the board has returned from open session while we were in executive session. Bob Blakely, Lauren Stout for Don Tice, Joe Coster, myself, Frank Kellogg, were joined by Dr. David Wilkins and Assistant Superintendent Ken Patrick. There were no decisions taken and there were no votes. There were no decisions made and votes taken. Did I cover all the bases, Doc? All right, so we are now to item E, which is vote to accept or not accept submitted resignations as listed below. Jessica Porter, paraprofessional, effective November 22nd, 2024. And Susanna Fitzgerald, special ed teacher, effective December 20th, 2024.
I move that we accept the submitted resignations as listed. Jessica Porter, effective November 22nd, 2024, and Susanna Fitzgerald, effective December 20th, 2024.
Vote please.
Yes.
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 Item E is approved. Item F, motion to vote to employ or not employ recommended applicants for the positions that are listed below for the upper elementary special ed teacher on temporary contract for the remainder of the 2024-2025 school year. You want to do it one by one?
No, you can read it.
Go ahead and read it all, and then you can go back. Okay. Then for the Oologah-Talala elementary first grade teacher on a temporary contract for the remainder of the 2024-2025 school year. The Oologah upper elementary paraprofessional for the remainder of the 2024-2025 school year.
So recommendation would be for Kathy Loesch for the upper elementary special education teacher on temporary contract for the remainder of the school year. For the Oologah lower elementary first grade teacher, that would be Jessica Call, K-A-H-L, on temporary contract for the remainder of the school year. And then for the upper elementary paraprofessional for the remainder of the school year would be Madeline Bellotti.
Entertain action on item F.
I'll make a motion that we approve the upper elementary special education teacher on a temporary contract for the remainder of 24-25 school year, Kathy Roach. I also recommend that Oologah lower elementary first grade teacher on a temporary contract for the remainder of the 24-25 school year, Jessica Call, and also Oologah upper elementary paraprofessional for the remainder of 24-25 school year, Madeline Bellotti.
Second.
Vote please.
Yes.
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 Item 6 is new business. New business. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
To adjourn.
Second.
Vote please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Record show. We done.